Wagwan people, back again for another review of Sisters. This is season 6, episode 6. And before I start, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please like the video and share it. All right, thank you so much. Anyways, we'll start off now from where we left off last week with Aaron showing up at Karen's apartment, talking about some, I'm here to make love to you. Karen's like looking at him all stupefied. And like I guess she's asking him if he's drunk. He's like, no. I mean, I say, come there for make no love. You ain't carrying no in love. What kind of love? You come there because you want to smash. He wants to smash, so that I'm shaking again. Sorry, y'all. He wants to smash, so that's why he's there. And so they smash. Okay, after a little bit of hesitation by Karen, of course, but they smash, and they show Fatima and Zach, at the same time, intermittently between the two of them, showing that both of them, both Karen and Zach, are smashing other people. All right. So then we're off to Calvin. So Calvin wakes up and he goes out and he sees Maurice, and so he says, he wants to tell Maurice that he's proud of him, and so he goes to hug Maurice. Maurice funny. Maurice is funny, y'all. Oh, I can't give Maurice's jokes. Y'all have to watch Maurice for yourself. But Maurice is like throwing his leg around him and acting all crazy. But anyway, Calvin wants to tell him he's proud of him because he was um, eavesdropping on his conversation with the guy from last week when he was telling that guy, when he was giving the guy a chance, letting him go. So Calvin was like, I'm proud of you because that kid needs help. He was, you know, his parents put him out the house when he was 14 and all that sad story. So I guess we'll see more of that. More of that is coming up, I can tell. So, Maurice's excuse for eavesdropping is that he wanted to, back up Maurice if Maurice needed it. Maurice is like, who gonna back me up? You? I say, are you want back me up? You know, remember Jacoby? You know, remember Jacoby knock you out of your spin roll like a little girl and scream, ah! Maurice is crazy. Y'all. Maurice is funny as hell. All right, so then we go to Andy, and Andy, is getting ready to go to work. So she gets into her kitchen and she walks in on Gary hanging up a call. Granted, it did seem like he was about to hang up right before she walked in. Anyways, so she was looking at it like, okay, as soon as I walk in the room, you hang up the phone. So she's looking at him all suspicious, So then she says, what time did you wake up? Because I guess she's been up all this time and she didn't see him. And he was like, oh, I went to the gym. She's like, at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's like, yeah. So she like, wait, but now that you used to do when you were married, and when you want to come off in my yard, you'll tell your wife, so yeah, I got gym 4 o'clock in the morning and then show up on my yard. He's like, yeah. So now you're jealous too? She's like, no, but who was that on the phone? He was like, he doesn't want to tell her, turns the situation around on her, telling her that she's jealous and see how it feels now, totally avoiding the question and doesn't want to tell her who was on the phone. So anyway, he walks out, so he's gonna get dressed, kisses her on the forehead, like really, um, and then walks, says he's gonna get ready for work, right? Leaves his phone behind, so she considers looking at the phone, but decides against it. And as soon as she puts the phone back down, he comes out the room and grabs the phone and leaves again. Like, okay then, we'll see where that goes. All right, so we'll just stick with Fatima. Oh well, we'll go to Zach and Fatima. So Zach was trying to, be quiet in the house. Says, I guess not trying to wake Fatima up, but Fatima's already up. She's in the kitchen looking at him like, what you do? I sneak out, try to sneak out? You trying to sneak out? He's like, nah. And he, as a man does, always thinks that sex um solves everything. That sex fixes everything. They always seem to think like once we have sex, then okay, all our problems. We don't have to talk about the problems no more. Like, no. So, but Fatima's acting all hard, and she's guarding her heart. She's building this wall up and again, so that she doesn't want to be hurt, right? So she's trying to put him in the category of all the other guys that she's, dated, or where she can just smash and that's it. She's trying to fit him in that category, but I don't think it's gonna work for Tima. It's not gonna work. So anyway, we get to Sabrina now. Sabrina's at the bank and she gets a call from her manager. Her manager says, "You gotta fire Jacoby. I saw him on the camera. He's fighting. You gotta fire him." She's like, "Okay," but Jacoby is in the bank. Isn't he suspended? What are you doing in the bank? Listen, y'all know what I think about this bank, right? This bank has two employees, well, three, about to be two, and that's Maurice, Sabrina, and Jacoby. You ain't never seen nobody else. You don't never see no security. I mean, one time we saw the manager, right? So we don't see anybody else, and we don't see any customers, right? Anyway, Sabrina yells across the bank, "Jacoby, get in here!" Like seriously, so unprofessional. Jacoby goes in the office, so she tells him, that famous line, "We're gonna have to let you go." So of course he's mad as hell, grabs his bag and storms out. And of course Maurice has to be funny. I can't do Maurice. Y'all gotta watch the show to get Maurice. I can't do Maurice jokes. He's like he just has to make some funny cracks about the whole thing. Anyway, Maurice is there for comic relief. Alright, so now we see Preston, leaving out the house. He's going to work and he kisses Danny goodbye. So as soon as he leaves, Danny's like, I'm always distracted. I have ADD or something. Anyway, um, so as soon as he leaves, Danny calls Sabrina. Right again, complaining about Preston. She's another one. She is fallen in love with Preston, and so she is scared, and so she feels like she needs to push back. So she's telling Sabrina, I think I need a break. I think I need a break. All him a do a talk about cow all day. I've never heard Preston talking about cows. I don't know what she's talking about, but anyway, she must know. She's like, I need a break from him. Sabrina's like, well, you gotta tell him. And then so Sabrina is plotting a lunch. She's like, we gotta get Karen and Andy together, so we gotta do lunch, right? So meanwhile, Zach walks into the bank. So Sabrina's all stunned, right? So Zach is there with Maurice, and Zach is telling Maurice, so he's opened an account. Maurice is cracking jokes at Zach's Velcro wallet and library card. Anyway, Zach opens his account with $20,000. So he opens his account and then he asks about stock. And I'm like, oh my God, no, 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 no. But we know it was coming, right? We know that come because they're not put that in the show for no reason. There's no way they're gonna put the lady telling him about stocks and then nothing happens from it, right? You know it was gonna happen. So he tells Maurice to put all the money in the stock that the lady told him to. So Maurice is like, okay, if that's what you want. Sabrina comes out, but she didn't hear that part at first. So Maurice goes to do what he's supposed to do. And, Sabrina comes out questioning Zach, like, what are you doing here? Zach's like, oh my God, of all the banks in Georgia, you have to work at this one. You know what? I want my money back and making all these scenes and all that stuff, but whatever. Anyway, Zach's about to lose his money. That's all I know. So then Andy calls Fatima into her office, right? Because she's like, Fatima, you've been ignoring me all day. You've been avoiding me all day. And Fatima's like, no, I ain't avoiding you, but I guess she kind of was avoiding her for whatever reason. Probably because she feels like because she slept with Zach and she's like, she doesn't know if she should talk about it. She probably just feel away because she and Zach, she got smashed. They smashed. Okay. So, um, Andy invites Fatima to lunch. So Fatima's like, okay. But then Sabrina calls and tells Andy that, we're all going to lunch and you're coming. Because you and Karen need to talk, you're coming to lunch. So Andy's like, all right, but I'm bringing Fatima. Like, no, Fatima is not a part of the group. She can't come. Anyway, Fatima comes in and the lawyer for the guy from the other day, that white guy that was, that's divorcing his wife, and the lawyer's there. And so they go, Fatima's like going crazy over the lawyer, like, oh my God, he's so cute, he's so hot, he's so fine. I mean, he's good looking, but he ain't all that. I mean, I would prefer Zach over him. But anyway, that's my taste though. But Fatima is like all Google eyes for this guy. So the lawyer, acts tough, and then he starts complimenting Andy, and it's like, I'm engaged, and anyway, so there's some story coming up about that, but we'll see where that goes. So then, and afterwards, now Andy has to tell Fatima that they need a rain check because she's going to lunch with the girls. So of course, Fatima feels a little slighted, like, but she pretends that it's okay. All right, so then, okay, sorry. All right, so then we go to Karen, and she's at the store. She's at her hairdressing place, and Pam's like, "Oh, what going with you? Oh, you so happy? Yeah, get sex. Zach, come over." She's like, "No, I ain't seen Zach." Like, something up with you. Anyway, Pam be noticing stuff. Anyway, then of course Andy calls and invites her to lunch, and she reluctantly says yes, they're going to go to lunch. And then we get back to the bank, and Jacoby has decided to come back, looking mad as hell. He's got like rage in his eyes, and his body's all tense, and he's like, anyway, Sabrina, brings it up and goes to talk to him. What do you want? What are you doing here? He's like, um, you think I'm gonna take it so lightly? I'm not taking it that lightly. I am going to sue you for sexual harassment. She's like, what? It's like, yes, you, Sabrina, whatever your last name is. I forgot whatever her last name was. Hollis. You, Sabrina Hollis, you sexually assault me. Are you sexually harass me? And he's like being all loud. So, and then that was the end of it. So that's the end of the episode. Oh my God, that was so quick. But that's okay though. It's a review, right? So that's it for this episode. It was a pretty good episode. It was alright. Um, well, it leaves us in suspense for next week. We'll see what happens with that. Um, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with this lawyer, why he's there, and then what happens with Zach and Fatima now that he has lost all his money, right? Because she told him, put that money back into the business that they're doing, back into building and, and all of that good stuff. Invest in that, and then in a few months it'll be $100,000. But no, that wasn't good enough. Make some white man come tell him say buy stock, and in 24 hours you're gonna get 50 times your money. Like, don't be stupid. And even if you were gonna try it, Zach, even if you was gonna try, even if you do half, not even sure do half, and I could have do $5,000, it wouldn't so bad. Say making do five, say making do 10, the whole lot of money. So it's like, where you gonna stay now? Where you gonna get for an apartment? I mean, he gave Karen five. He tried to give Fatima some. So I guess he does have some left. So we'll see what happens with that. He must use some. You've been staying at a hotel. So some of that, the rest of that, the $5,000, they, I dwindled down. So we'll see what happens with that. How that affects him and Fatima. But I am excited, y'all, that the oval is coming back. I love the oval. I will be reviewing the oval. So that's back next Tuesday. So look out for that one, y'all. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Later.